Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are building something super exciting, a simple image editing app. This app will let you adjust the brightness, contrast, exposure, and saturation of images right on your phone. Sounds cool, right? Stick around because by the end of this video you will have your own photo editing app ready to go. First, let me show you the demo. This is how the app looks, very minimal. I have put efforts more on the logic rather than the designing part. Select an image from the gallery. You can change the brightness of the image using the slider. And then we have contrast, exposure, and saturation. Once the image is edited, then you can save it in the gallery. This way. And done. Isn't that cool? Alright, let's dive in. First, make sure that you're using the latest version of Android Studio. For this project, we are going to use Jetpack Compose. So select a new empty activity, name the project My Photo Edit App, and click on Finish. The goal here is to load an image from the gallery, apply filters to it, and then save the edited image back to the gallery. So let's get started. Go to Gradle Build. I am using all the latest dependency, hence our compile SDK and target SDK will be 35. Click on Sync now and done. Now go to main activity. Clear all the default code. Here we will go step by step. From selecting an image from the gallery to displaying an image, then editing it, applying filters to it, and finally saving the image in the Photos gallery. So step number 1 is to select the image from the Photos gallery. To do that, first we will create a composable function, Photo Editing App. And inside it, create an image URI variable which stores the URI of an image. URI stands for Uniform Resource Identifier, which is a unique identifier for resources like images or files. Now the first thing we need is a way for the user to select an image. For this, we will use the launcher. Remember launcher for activity result contracts dot get content. And inside it, URI will be saved in the image URI variable. This code allows the user to pick an image from the gallery. Do not forget the question mark to avoid nullability. But obviously, we need a button on which the user will click to open a gallery. Hence, for that, first create a column. Keep fill max size with padding 16 dp and horizontal alignment as center horizontally. Then inside it, create a button whose on-click will launch the Photos gallery with the file type image, and the text on the button will be Select Image. When the user taps the button, it opens the gallery to pick an image. Easy, right? Step 2. Now once we have the image, let's display it. For that, we load the image as a bitmap. So create a load bitmap from URI function with URI and context as their parameters. And of course, at the end, it will return a bitmap. Now inside it, write bitmap factory dot options. It configures how the image should be decoded. Here, in sample size is equal to 2, reduces the image resolution by a factor of 2, making the image load faster and consume less memory. Then open the input stream, context dot content resolver dot open input stream URI. It opens a stream to read the data of the image from the provided URI. Then decode the stream. Bitmap factory dot decode stream reads the image data from the input stream and converts into bitmap object. Then finally, error handling. If decoding fails, it throws an illegal argument exception with an error message. Got it? Once the image is displayed, we will add sliders to adjust the filters. So for that, we create a filter control composable function. The filter control function displays a slider to adjust a specific filter's value like brightness or contrast or saturation. So add parameters such as the name of the filter, the current value of the filter, and the minimum and the maximum range for the slider. And call back when the slider moves and changes the value. Then inside it, create a column that aligns the component center horizontally. Then a text shows the filter name and its current value formatted to 2 decimal places. Then a slider lets the user adjust the value within the specified range. And then, okay, so sliders are great, but how do we actually apply the filters? Let me show you first. Create an apply filter function. The apply filters function applies multiple image adjustments like brightness, contrast, exposure, and saturation to a bitmap and returns a new edited bitmap. Then inside it, create a blank bitmap. A new bitmap with the same width, height, and configuration as the original is created to hold the edited image. Then a canvas is used to draw the original bitmap onto the new one, and a paint object is used to apply color filters. Now here where the magic happens. Use a color matrix to manipulate the image. This is the core logic for our filters. It will modify the image color properties such as saturation, where we adjust the vibrancy of the color, then brightness, where we add a fixed value to RGB channels. How? First, let me write the code. And done. Now see what exactly is happening over here. A color matrix is a 4:5 matrix that transforms color in an image. Each pixel's RGBA, red, green, blue, alpha, values are multiplied by this matrix to calculate the output color. Alpha is nothing but the opacity. This is what a general matrix structure looks like. And this is what our matrix looks like. Now the first row represents the red color, where 1F means the red value remains unchanged. And brightness adds an offset to the red component. Likewise, the second row represents the green color, where 1F means the green value remains unchanged. And brightness adds an offset to the green component. And same for the blue color. Then the fourth represents the alpha, which means the opacity is unchanged. But here, no brightness is added to the alpha channel. The matrix adds the brightness value to the red, green, and blue channels of each pixel, effectively increasing or decreasing their intensity. For example, if brightness is equal to 50, all RGB values are increased by 50, making the image brighter. If brightness is equal to -50, all RGB values are decreased by 50, darkening the image. Got it? Then post concat. Okay, there is some error. Let me see. Got it. Here, please be aware with imports that can cause issues like, for here example, use graphics color matrix, not UI compose matrix, and change this to set saturation. Now use post concat. So post concat applies all the adjustment in one color matrix. Now saturation and brightness are done. Let's write the code for contrast and exposure. See, to adjust brightness, we modify the red, green, and blue channels. Similarly, for contrast and exposure, we use different matrix transformations. These changes are combined and applied to the bitmap, giving us the edited image. Here, contrast scales RGB values and shift them from higher or lower contrast. The contrast factor says if the value is greater than 1, increase contrast. Means higher contrast increase the difference between light and dark areas. If the values is less than 1, decrease contrast means lower contrast reduces that difference, making the image appear flatter. If value is equal to 1 means no change. Then we use a formula to calculate an offset to normalize the contrast adjustment. Basically, it ensures the image brightness stays balanced after applying the contrast. Then the matrix here again, the first row represents the red color. Here the scale multiplies the red component to increase decrease contrast and translate adds an offset to maintain the brightness. Likewise, in the second and the third rows, but in the fourth row, 1F represents the transparency, unchanged. And finally, post concat to apply the changes. Then the exposure brightens or darkens the image uniformly. Here, the color matrix adjusts the exposure of an image by adding the exposure value to the red, green, and blue channels, making the image appear brighter or darker. The alpha, which is the transparency channel, remains unaffected. And lastly, post concat. I know all of this sounds very complicated to you, and that is completely okay. You don't even need to know in detail. But still, if you want to learn more about it, I'll drop a link in the description box for you to go through. Then a color matrix color filter is applied to the paint object, and the edited bitmap is drawn onto the canvas. In the end, the final adjusted bitmap is returned. Again, import issue, so make sure paint is also graphics import, not compose import. And now for the final step, saving the edited image back to the gallery. For this, we use Media Store API. So create a save image to gallery function with context and bitmap as a parameter. Then create a unique file name and set the metadata such as file name, file type, and pending state using content values. Then use the content resolver to insert the image into the gallery and obtain its URI. Then write the image to the obtained URI's output stream in JPG format and update the metadata to mark the image as ready, means is pending is equal to 0. And notify the user via toast as image saved to gallery. Now comes the final part, where we will call all the functions here inside the photo editing app function. So write along with me. Create 5 variables: brightness, contrast, exposure, saturation, and active filter. Active filter means the current filter that is ongoing. Then a context variable for toast. Now let's go one by one. So inside the column, first we will have an image, right? Hence bitmap. Remember image URI means if there is an image already selected, then load that image using the load bitmap from URI function which we created before. If bitmap is null, it means there is no image selected. In that case, display a default image. Quickly add it in the drawable folder. And then over here also. Else means if the selected image is present, then apply all the filters such as brightness, contrast, exposure, and saturation onto that bitmap and store it in an edited bitmap variable as a newly edited image, and of course display the edited image. Then give a spacer of 16 dp height. Below is a select image button which we created before. Then again give a spacer of 16 dp height. Here all 4 filter buttons will come. So if the bitmap is not null, it means the image is present. Then only display these 4 buttons in an arrangement spaced by 8 dp. Create all 4 buttons whose on-click is active filter with its keywords and its respective text. I will write the logic for active filter in a while. Again, a spacer with 16 dp height. Now let's write the logic for active filter. Here we will use the filter control function, which consists of the filter name and its current value. These are the same keyword that we used in onClick. This code displays a slider control based on the selected active filter, and the slider's name and value correspond to the currently selected filter, which is brightness, contrast, exposure, or saturation. Then the next parameter is the value ranges. So contrast and saturation have a range of 0f to 2f. Hence, 0f is here the minimum and 2f is the maximum. Likewise, brightness and exposure have a range of minus 100f to 100f. Hence, minus 100f is the minimum and 100f is the maximum over here. Got it? Then, next is the value adjustment where the slider updates the respective filters value, which are brightness, contrast, exposure, and saturation. Again, a spacer of 16 dp height. Then comes a button that will save our edited image into the photos gallery. So an image with all the applied filters will be stored in an edited bitmap variable, and then using save image to gallery function, it will save the image directly to our photos gallery. And at the same time, it throws a toast saying save to gallery. Also, I made a mistake over here, so please fix that. And don't forget to call the photo editing app function here inside the set content. And that's it. Our photo editing app is ready. Let's run the app. Select an image from the gallery. Adjust the filters, a little bit of brightness, less contrast, a little bit of exposure, and less saturation. Okay. The picture looks fine. And now let's save it in the photos gallery. Done. And look, there it is. Isn't that amazing? So yeah, that's it for the video. If you are new to this channel, then please consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.